What's up, Headless Horde? And what's up, Ryan Milky? Yeah, so 2 times in one night, people. The Last of Us. I'm digging it. What do you think?
I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I was so glad you enjoyed it. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
whether you were gonna get good vibes from it or not, but you can tell that there is a very strong storyline behind this, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I mean, little Walking Dead vibes for me. Early Walking Dead, which is fine because early Walking Dead is fantastic.
I think that I did say that backstage as well, and I do kind of feel like that's only because it's just finished. That we're getting those. Yeah. Only just because Walking Dead's just finished and it's still in the forefront of my mind, so it's still got that. And it was, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude, I definitely know what you mean. I mean, there's only so many ways you can even start a show like this or a movie like this. They all start very similar. You kind of see the very beginning. I guess the one complaint I would have would be we don't really get to see it happen. And that's honestly, that's like the complaint of all these type of movies, that you never get to see what is the actual thing that starts the whole thing. Like, that's what I want to know. Now, granted, I have not played the video game. I'm sure you might find out. I don't know. I don't really want to know, to be honest with you. So I mean, but again, I guess unless that's like one of the big, I guess, secrets or whatever. I kind of just want to. One of these times, I want to see a movie like this that goes from like the very beginning of it and let's go all the way through. And I know they try to do that in Fear the Walking Dead a little bit, but we really still never understood exactly what started the whole thing. I would say the closest movie to this would be like The Happening with Mark Wahlberg. I mean, that might be the closest that we get. World War Z, to a point, we get that. I'll be honest with you, like I was like, let's go, man. And then I know some things about the game, so I knew his daughter was going to end up dying at some point. The way it's done crushed me. Absolutely. I thought for sure the whole time, as soon as they introduced her, I'm like, okay, so she's going to become like one of the first. And I know they're not zombies. I'm not sure. What is the name for these?
Infected.
This is called the infected.
Just infected, yeah.
Okay. So I figured, that that's what happened. And it was painful, actually, to watch that scene when she gets shot. But yeah, no, I mean,
a bit of change from the game. In the Last of Us game, the Outbreak Day happened in 2013, and the majority of the story took place 20 years later in 2033. However, for the HBO series, they've changed it, and the pandemic started in 2003, and we've jumped to 2023.
Yeah, I had read that before we watched, so I kind of knew that, and I knew that about the game because I think the game came out in 2013. And yeah, they jumped to 20 years. And I was kind of shocked to see a 20-year gap. Like, again, I mean, so I mean, I have questions, but I also don't want them answered if they're spoilers,
Well, in the game, it starts with his daughter basically being kidnapped, and it starts there, kind of, and we kind of got to build up to that in this episode. We got a bit more time with the main people.
Well, the daughter isn't kidnapped, is she? The daughter didn't get kidnapped in this episode at all. I know you had missed a little bit of the beginning of the show. But the daughter doesn't get kidnapped at all.
Okay, so they changed it up then, yeah.
They did, yeah. Because I know Ryan was having some issues getting the episode, so I know he missed about the first 20 minutes or so.
It was the same as when we did House of the Dragon. I couldn't get the first episode, and then every week after that, it was perfect. But it was fine. It's just the first episode of the show I couldn't get.
Yeah, They basically, it started off the first 20 minutes. It was basically just a big introduction to Joe and his daughter, and then his brother. His brother's Tom, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we get introduction to him, and yeah, she doesn't get kidnapped or anything like that. She basically just they're just she's at like their neighbor's house, or I don't know if it's their neighbor or down the street, whatever it was. She goes over there and she kind of sees that the like the one it must be like her mother was kind of like making noises, and being a viewer, what was going on here, and so she kind of leaves. So again, knowing being a viewer, what's about to happen in that house, and that's kind of what starts it for us watching. And yeah, I mean, she doesn't get kidnapped or anything like that, dude. She ends up going back to the house, and like later that night, their dog comes over and is like sad and starts clawing at the window, and she goes out there. And I'll be honest with you, like again, not knowing anything about the game, I actually thought the dog was going to infect her. That's why I thought was going to happen. It didn't. She ended up going back with the dog to the house, and she saw. So what I like and what I do want to know, so so the first time we see the infected face up, like these little fungus things, is that how they are in the game? Because that's fantastic. I hope it is.
It's very graphical, but yeah, I would say so.
They have like these little, almost like the fungus coming out of the mouth. So when they're like gnawing on the humans, they have this like. I think what they're doing is they're transferring their spores, or they must be transferring something, but they're eating at the same time. I don't know. They're all bloody, obviously.
Yeah, it was a long time ago when I played the game, but I do vaguely remember that it's pretty similar.
Yeah. So I mean, but basically, then she leaves after she sees all that, and then Joe comes in with his brother, because at that point his brother had called him from prison, or not prison, but from jail, because he was arrested because he got in a bar fight. And he, basically, it made it sound like he got in a fight with somebody who maybe was infected. That's at least what I got out of that. But yeah, I mean, it was really good. And then we kind of get again. I know this is the stuff that you missed. I'm sure you'll go back and watch it anyways. But they end up getting split up from his brother, and then there's like military. And he's just super, I don't know if he's afraid or what, but he's basically just doesn't want to deal with other people because he doesn't know. Starts shooting at them. They roll down a hill. His brother ends up coming to kill the military guy or whatever. And we find out that she is actually shot, and like within like a couple minutes, she ends up dying. So it was pretty heartbreaking because I wasn't expecting that. So that was I mean, is that how she dies in the game too? Is by a bullet or no?
I believe so. I really, it's been a long time. I need to play it again myself. Carolina Chris has literally just played through it, so he'll probably have the best knowledge. He's just said he can't wait for certain scenes to come up, glued or live action, and the Clippers. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's not a big deal because I'm gonna play the game. I downloaded it yesterday. And I knew that this would get me pumped up to watch or to want to play it, because I never played it. And so
Ashley Johnson, who voiced and provided the motion capture for Ellie in the video game, she is playing a role in the show.
Yeah, I read about this,
but I don't know if I'm going to say who, because it might be a spoiler. But we've never met this person in the game. This will be the first time we ever meet. We've heard of this person, we've heard dialogues and stuff, but when we actually meet this person, that'll be the first time. Yeah, Sarah got shot exactly like that in the video game. There you go.
Yeah, there. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, the whole kidnap thing that you were talking about, I'm not really sure. But yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, Ryan. Let's just. So I believe so. Me and Ryan are trying something new tonight. We actually we upgraded our StreamYard, and we're trying to see if we can get stream on both channels, and I believe we are. So I hope that's working correctly for everybody. And if for those of you viewing on Ryan's channel, I am Headless Nut Stark. We've been collaborating now for. Oh, geez, man. What has it been like? It's been almost a half a year at this point.
Yeah, since House of the Dragon.
Yeah. And for those of you viewing on my channel, if you don't know Ryan, Ryan Milky, you can follow him on YouTube as well. And we've collaborated on House of the Dragon. We're currently doing some Star Wars content. We actually started tonight. We've done Willow, we've done Rings of Power, and now we are doing The Last of Us. So just continue to do these lives on Sundays and Mondays, and from now on, we'll be streaming probably on both channels at the same time.
Yeah, seems to be working right now. So yeah, I'm having fun. Welcome everybody that's new, everyone that's new to hanging out. Derpy 501st has got a question for us. So does anyone want to watch the Halo series? Laughing at myself joke.
There's another game that I've never played.
That's because you're a Sony fanboy. That's because you're a Sony fanboy.
I am a Sony fanboy. I do not like. I don't. Not that I don't like Xbox. I don't like the controllers. So my son always was the Xbox guy. I was always the PS guy, and yeah. So I just never got used to those controllers. And we've talked about this online before. He likes them because the controllers are a little wider or something. You said because your hands are bigger.
They're a little bit wider. I like that the analogs are up and lower. I like that.
Oh, up and lower. Yeah. So yeah. Let's just say hey to everybody really quick. What's going on? Ned, you got to play a game. Oh yeah, dude. I'm seriously, depending upon how long we're live tonight, I'm seriously considering maybe going and streaming this on YouTube because I've never played. And the beginning of the game, I think, might be the most fun to play because, again, I don't know how far in the episode we got from the game world, but I think it might be fun because I just watched it. So I might be doing that. We'll just see how long I go on tonight. What's up, Fungo? Oh, yeah. There you go.
I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm just going to get rid of it.
See, now I gave Ryan control over the comments, and now you can just get rid of that. Carolina Chris, appreciate you, man, for being here again, like always. And I don't want to. There's Papa Missouri. Yeah, we talking about dragons and lightsabers, dude. We're talking about the infected tonight. The infected. Did we talk about it all here? We talk about it all. Johnny Funko.
Carolina Chris, I wanted a question back at you. What do you think about them not including spores in the TV show? Because as game players will know, in certain areas of the game, there are heavily infected areas, and you have to put on a gas mask to be in these areas. And the showrunners have said that if they'd have used spores in the TV show, it wouldn't have been able to be self-contained like it is within the game, and it would have spread, meaning that everybody would have been infected, and therefore there wouldn't have been a story to tell in a real situation world. So I'm interested.
So explain to me. So the spores, like when you start talking spores, dude, and I wish I had a mini clip of this. I might have to get one for just for this stream, but I wish I had the clip of G.I. Joe the movie when they're talking about the spores, and that's what affects Cobra Commander. So what are you talking about like this in the game? Like, is it an actual spore from a fungus?
So you can go too close to the spores within the game and they can infect you, and you have to wear a gas mask because certain areas are just super infected with the spores. And that's how you get through the level.
Okay.
So traverse some areas without being able to breathe normally. You have to have the mask on. So I'm interested.
When you get infected in the game, is it just like game over, start over, or is it like can you actually like use an antidote or something like that, or nothing?
I think you can use antidotes and heals. I haven't played it for a long time.
Okay.
When it first came out, I played it.
So it sounds to me like it's similar to Resident Evil, but I know we had talked because you told me there was like long cinematic, breaks in between playing.
Storyline gets told through narration while you're playing, and there's the fungi. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Fungo. He's played. He said it's been a while.
I haven't played games for a good 5 years nearly. It's been a long time.
Yeah, like I said, if we're not on too late, I might go mess around for an hour or something on the stream just to kind of check things out. And so yeah, he's saying a gas mask. So all right, so we meet actually quite a few characters. It's funny, seeing all the posters and just knowing about the game a little bit. I was surprised we met so many characters tonight. Now I'm sure I'm going to butcher the names.
I'm sure I will too. I'm pulling up IMDb now, so I've got them.
Yeah, I know.
So Joel is Pedro Pascal. Ellie is Ellie.
You know, I'll tell you
So-
one thing right now about Ellie, dude. I'm loving seeing her because she looks so much more mature, and just more badass. And she was badass in Game of Thrones, right? But
Oh, yeah.
I was like, let's go, man. I loved it. I thought she did a great job. And then we have Marlena, is she like the leader? And so the Firefly thing, that's like the group name of like almost like the rebels or so, like rebels or something. That's kind of just I was getting out of that. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe was Marley not the leader of the Hunters, or is it the Hunters?
I don't know. They kept calling themselves the Fireflies. That's because at one point I messaged you about that, and then you said that you weren't
spores,
sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, but the Fireflies I think was like the name of their like little rebel group. So Marlena seems to like she's kind of like the leader of that almost, and so I guess she actually voiced the character Marlena in the game as well. That's like the one they kept the same for some reason.
Okay.
So that I know that was one thing that I had saw online. So that was kind of cool. But I know a lot of the voice actors from the game are in the show is like small cameos and stuff like that. So
I like that. I like that the studio's given back to the originality. You know, it's kept it true.
Yeah, that's what I thought was pretty cool. So I again, I don't know how important some of these characters are. Like, obviously they're going where they need to go. The main three people, I guess. Which I understand. I don't even know the female's name. I can't even remember what they said her name was. I know like 4 names.
Is it Tess?
Is it like that's like his girlfriend right now or something? Is that who that's supposed to be? The one that kind of came and laid in bed with them. The one that was in the middle of the gunfight early in the episode.
I think it's Tess. I'm not sure.
So is that supposed to be like his girlfriend?
I think so.
I mean, that's what I got.
I'm pretty much new as you right now at the minute.
Okay.
I watched it. I got flashbacks of the game, but it was more visual than characters and stuff.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, I mean, Chad,
a lot of walking around with just Joel and Ellie, so
right, and that's why I was like kind of surprised there were so many characters in there. Like, I didn't know who was going to be important. Like early in the episode, we see him trying to make deals with the one officer or guard or whatever. I guess he's like a guard, and he's like trading those pills. I can't remember what the pills were now, but. And he's trading them for money and then either cigarettes or weed or whatever it was. And then he takes the weed and he takes that to someone else. So there's like a whole different like nice little chain system going on to get what you want to get. Almost like prison. Honestly, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like prison movies where they're playing cards for cigarettes and then cigarettes go to the guards and the guards give them something and that kind of stuff. I guess the one thing that
Oxys. Yeah, he was trading Oxys.
Oxy. Yeah, that's what it was, Oxy. I guess the one thing I was a little bit confused on, and I don't know what you thought, and I think you must have saw this because this was after because I know you missed like the first beginning, but with the time jump you saw. So in this like I guess they're in Boston, and so. Again, my mind goes back to like Walking Dead, right? Like we have like the little city and there's all the walls and patrols and all that. So all these people are living in the same area, like the Fireflies, and then Joe is and his girlfriend are in a different area of that city. Like, is that what we're doing here? Like, is that what that community is? They're just
it seems to be self-contained within the walls, like it's their safe zone.
Okay. So when Joe and he said Tess, when they go and they're like kind of like going through the sewers or something or underground, so how do they know where they're going? I guess that's my question. Like I was a little confused like when they're going through all that, and then all of a sudden they find Ellie, and I'm like, oh well, that was convenient. It's like so random. I guess I
believe he's been out before. They are adding a lot more dialogue into this game. than what into the storyline than is in the game.
Right. I guess I was just trying to figure that part out. Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
not 100% sure.
Yeah.
How they know where they're going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point. So Chris said
it's tunnels they use to navigate through the city.
Okay, well, and that's all it is. Fine. I just wasn't sure if I was missing something. So what I found really interesting is that so Tom is still alive, or he thinks he's alive because he's been with him the last 20 years. So the main goal right now is he's trying to go find his brother, and he hasn't been spoken of or seen or whatever in I don't really, they didn't really state, but it sounds like a couple days maybe. And so he wants to go find him, and that's why he's trying to get it sounds like he's trying to get a truck with a battery or something. And so then he runs into Marlena, right? Marlena and her partner or whatever. I don't know who exactly our girl was, but so they end up taking Ellie after negotiating, and then we kind of see them flee. And I've skipped a ton, I know, but here's my question. So when the little prick thing that obviously tells you if they have the disease, is it right? Okay,
I'm guessing so. Yeah.
I mean, because like in the beginning we saw like the young girl come walking in, and then I'm pretty sure she was dead because they probably killed her because they knew. Yeah. Okay, so then you see him kind of throw her in the fire or whatever. Okay, so the question is, when Ellie shows her arm, okay, was that supposed to be like just like fungus? Or it looked like a scar. I didn't know exactly what that was supposed to be. I mean, obviously they saw that she was not turned and she wasn't infected, but she did turn red on the little meter. So I guess I'm just trying to figure out like exactly what was in her arm. Like what is that? Is that
just a sign of infection?
But do you know what it is? Like, is it actual fungus? Is it just some type of scar?
It looked like a scar to me. But you are going to play the game, so
yeah.
Just okay. I'm trying to be careful how we answer because the game pays off well. So
okay, and that's fine. I have no problem. I just want to make sure I understand exactly what's going on. And I honestly probably playing the game is probably going to help with some of the lore. So
it'll help me too. I'm probably going to go back and play it too because I've still got it on Steam. So
okay, but yeah, I mean, and so we they're it's kind of funny. Joe looked like a complete badass, man. He just I do like how they flash back to the scene. So the guard that he was making trades with end up stopping them when they're trying to escape. And at this point, they're trying to take them to. Marlena said that if they go to her people, they'll give them a truck with a battery and weapons and everything else they need as long as she stays safe. So again, knowing something about the game and basically the premise of the show is that Ellie is immune to the disease, and so the idea is probably to use her blood to find a cure. Kind of like what's the one with Will Smith? Kind of the same deal. My gosh, what's the name of that movie with Will Smith? Oh, Chad, help me out. Well, I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, it's kind of the same premise. So I like how when he told them to get down and kneel, he didn't hesitate this time because they do that little flashback to the daughter, and he just was kind of complying and he just listened, and you saw what happened, and this time he just like boom tackled this guy and just beat the hell out of him. I thought that was awesome. So
yep. So did you get Oberyn vibes?
Yeah, he's being his vibe. I was like, describe it.
I was like, he's taking it out on the mountain. He's taking it out on the mountain. He's getting his payback for what happened to him in Game of Thrones. But I say that, but I also say that with a smile because you all know that I don't like Ryan Reynolds and I don't like Deadpool because whenever I watch Ryan Reynolds and he's not playing Deadpool, I still see Deadpool. I've just forgotten his name. Pedro Pascal is the complete opposite to this theory. I can watch Pedro Pascal, and I saw him tonight, and I instantly recognized with him as Joel. I didn't recognize with him as the Mandalorian, and I didn't recognize him as Oberyn Tyrell. I recognized him as Joel, and that's what storyline and casting is done right, and that's where I have an issue with Ryan Reynolds when he does what he does.
Yeah,
because everything that he's in, whether he's being serious or not, it's just him without the suit. It's Deadpool without the suit, and I can't do it. But I have reasonings. I can talk my reasonings through.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro Pascal is a great actor. Because I know what you, I know what you mean, because like when you watch The Mandalorian, even though he doesn't take his helmet off that often, I don't even think about him being Oberyn. And I just rewatched Game of Thrones, the season with Oberyn, as I'm not even thinking about Mandalorian. And you're right, the whole time tonight when I see him, I didn't even think about it one time. And you're right, that's what story and good casting will do.
The correct casting, and when they've thought it out, I still see Green Lantern. Exactly, Chris.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you going to a sports game? No, I'm just in my Liverpool shirt, my soccer/football shirt.
Yes, he's getting ready to go to the football game because
not at 4:15 a.m. I'm not going
to. I was just looking, like, 4:15 a.m. He's getting ready to go tailgate on Monday morning.
I'm actually drinking energy drinks at 4:15 a.m.
Stay awake.
Let's do all this again tomorrow.
That's right.
And Tuesday. Wouldn't be anywhere else. Thank you for everybody being here. I appreciate it. Let us know, give us feedback on what you think about it being on both channels and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, let us know, especially the people in the chat who have played the game. I mean, how do you think they did here? I think Caroline said that it wasn't too far into the game is where they're at right now. So I'm curious to see what the chat thinks about it. I mean, I loved it. I thought the episode was fantastic. I'm trying to think what it's always hard to go right live because like there's so much you remember the big scenes, and I literally did not take one note tonight because I really wanted to watch it and pay attention. And I know Ryan
tomorrow night for 20 minutes after the
we could probably talk. We could definitely talk about it a little bit tomorrow. I know the opening scene you didn't get to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was really interesting. There was it looks like it was from 1968, I believe. And they had it was almost like a talk show or something like that. And they had a couple of doctors and the host was on there. And I liked it because they're talking about all the different ways that, the human population could become infected with a deadly disease that would, cause mass chaos like this. So, and I like it because they're talking about bacteria infections, they're talking about viruses, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm not worried about any of that." He's like, "We have medicines for that." Although a virus, there's not really medicine for virus, and I think that's usually what what zombies are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they start talking about the fungus, and the one guy's like, well, the fungus won't grow if it's not warm enough, and so on and so forth. And there's like a little Easter egg or hint toward like global warming, and then we jump to 2003 and then obviously 23. But so I kind of like that they kind of brought some some major issues that the Earth is having right now into it back in 68. I thought that was
do you like that kind of stuff? Sometimes I get annoyed when I'm wanting to escape reality and shows put me back into it.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense with the fungus, honestly. Like it does. It makes sense because they're saying it won't grow, and because humans are at 94 degrees, and that's where our inner temperature is at. But the warmer and warmer the Earth gets, then the inside, you would think the innards of your body would turn as well. And I have no idea. I'm not a scientist. I don't even know if that's how it works. But I did kind of like that because I know what you're saying, and I do find it kind of annoying sometimes when they do that in shows. But I think in this instance, it actually worked really well.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and I was talking to you earlier on the previous live how I'm working. I watched a show this weekend that I'm working on, and that show has science fact, not science fiction. It's a science fiction, so it's got sci-fi in it, and it's got some like weird elements to the episode that probably aren't human. But when they break it down, it's actually science fact. The stuff that they're talking about could actually happen. So it's a pretty cool thing that we're going to be talking about coming soon. But yeah, I like how the Last of Us TV show has brought out thought-provoking thoughts like that in my head, where I can share things like that. But it's crazy. I think it was fantastic. I seen Chris put 10 out of 10. Absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, for the first episode, I thought they did a great job. There was a lot that I liked. I mean, everything. I mean, I really liked that they made it seem like the daughter was going to be super important. And again, if you've never played the game, you probably didn't really know. Like, if you're just a casual viewer and you had no clue about the game and really knew what you're getting yourself into, I thought it was a good shock value there, especially the way it happened. Because it doesn't seem at the moment that she does actually get shot, and then she does. I like the little girl walking in. Again, if you don't know anything about the game, that was great. Again, I had no idea what was going on there. I knew it wasn't her because I know the actress, but I was interested to see what that was going to be about. And the way it ended, you're like, oh my god, like this show is like no holds barred, So I like that a lot. Just the way it was done. I guess I got a little confused in the middle just with all the different groups, but I think I have it narrowed out now. With like these people are trying to like go against like almost like the government, and that's why they're trying to. That's why because they had her locked up in that room for like it seemed like days, and that was more or less just to protect herself, protect Ellie. So, but yeah, I mean, it was really good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to pull in a lot of Walking Dead fans, like we said earlier, and rightly so. I think that this show could probably deserve that kind of backing. I have a friend who never played the game, probably never will play the game, but I know for a fact that she's going to love this. As soon as I put it on, I'm going to show her, and she'll be like, "This is good."
Well, and that was the other thing I was going to say. What I really liked about it, and this is why it's different. It reminds me of 24 hours later, or 20. Is it 24 hours later or 48 hours later?
48 hours later.
48 hours later. I like how
one of my favorite zombie movie.
Yep, and I know we've talked about that before. But what I really like about this is that
it's 28 days later.
28 days later, and then 48 weeks later.
48 weeks later, and they're currently working on a new one to bring back the third to finish.
I think it's 28 days, 28 weeks, and then it's going to be 28
months. Or 28 years.
28 months, whatever it is going to be. But I really like how the I don't want to call them zombies, the infected actually run. Like, I couldn't stand that about Walking Dead. Like, the zombies didn't even matter past season 2. Like, after season 2, the zombies were such a minor part of that show, And here I like how they're fast and they go. Now, granted, the one guy who is chasing, who is he chasing? I guess it was Pedro. I think you missed this one, but Pedro was carrying his daughter, and he's going through like, in the fact the guy is just like sliding all over the place, running into things. And granted, maybe it's like a baby. Who knows? When you first get infected, maybe you're like a little child. But I did like that aspect of the show too.
Yeah, Chris, they're working on 28 years later. They're going to get back together and do it.
Is that what it is? 28 years or 28 months?
It'd probably be 28 years because it's been probably 28. I think it's been that long since we had it.
Yeah, you probably have a new cast on there too. I don't even know if anybody survived. Question: what did you feel about what do you think about? So when they're trying to escape before they get Ellie, they see that the one affected up against the wall, like kind of like smashed. So what is explain this to me, or unless it's a huge spoiler or something like that. Why was that like that? Because I didn't understand that.
I don't remember, dude. It was sick though. I was like, what's that? And I couldn't pause it. I was like, damn it, I can't pause it.
So,
but I was looking.
So my wife had made a comment. She said something like, well, is it maybe if they don't feed because it was kind of stuck in that area and he couldn't get out? Is it something happens when they aren't able to feed that's what kind of happens? They just kind of start like almost like, I mean, it looked like he was like
regressing into the fungi.
Right, exactly. So I didn't know if that was a thing in the game or not, but that was a pretty cool scene. But that's kind of, I guess that's kind of where we were with that. Again, Chad, you guys can let us know if I'm completely off based on that theory. But again, not having any knowledge, when you see something like that, you're like, well, what in the world? Is that just for visuals or does it actually mean something? So, let's see if anyone's saying anything in the chat. Come on, chatty chat. I don't know, Ryan. What do you? I mean, you give this episode a 10 out of 10. Yeah. I think for an opening episode, they did a great job. And they leave it in. I know I did see. I think Chris had made a comment saying, there it is, right there. He loved how it ended with the two leading buildings. Yeah, that was a great scene. And when the plane crashed and people were losing their minds. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because...
I'm excited. So is it weekly on Sundays?
It's weekly on Sundays.
It's taking House of the Dragon spot.
Yeah, but basically, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So there's 9 episodes, so that's 1 down. We have 8 to go. We'll be doing this every Sunday after the episode. Probably won't be as late as this. It really just depends on the episode length. I know we were looking at this. Next week, I think it looks like it's about 55 minutes. So it'll probably be right after, like right around 10:15. But then the week after that is like an hour and 20 minutes again. So it'll have to be a little later. So just stay tuned to the channel, and
both channels as well now, yeah.
Yeah, both channels, and usually I'll put that up usually early in the week. And I know today I had to push this back about 20 minutes
because we realized the episode was 20 minutes longer than we thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was an hour.
It was 60 minutes.
Yeah. Which I love that HBO does that. At least they don't care,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think that these
network providers,
these premium channels, they try to stick to that hour. That's why Rings of Power was so cool, because like going in, I knew it wasn't going to always just be 50 minutes. They had hour and 20-minute video. Hour.
They couldn't have done it in 50-minute episodes. It needed so much. They didn't even explain everything that they should have.
Yeah. And like Willow, like you can lock it in for about 51 minutes every time. But
take out the rubbish stuff. You've probably got a 2-hour movie in 8 episodes.
Yeah. But I don't know. You have anything else you could think of? I'm trying to think. I wish I knew the characters' names. We could break it down a little bit more. I'm definitely going to take notes next time. I really just wanted to sit back and relax and enjoy it. But again, I don't even know. Moving forward, we may not even have that many characters. I mean, I know in the game, it's how often are they running the characters to talk to? I mean,
not very often. To my memory, not very often.
Yeah,
but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see. I mean, I'm assuming that Tess is probably not going to be along too long. She probably won't be around. I don't know. I mean, unless they're going to change some stuff. But
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Any questions from the chat?
Yeah, we just came on to give like initial reactions straight after. Usually this is like not the best produced show between the two of us, because we are literally winging it, because we're going off memory. We don't have notes and stuff. And I know tomorrow I have 2 things to watch: Attack of the Clones, and I'm watching this again.
Yeah,
I'm watching The Last of Us again.
Yeah, if we're going to talk a little bit about this tomorrow, I'll hit this up again tomorrow. And Attack of the Clones, I'm going to have to watch as well, because I have not watched that one yet.
this episode was 1 hour and 28 minutes. Yep.
Yeah, this
Crazy.
was a long one. Yeah, so I mean, think about it. It's like, and maybe that's why they're only doing 9 episodes, because the episodes are longer. I mean, again, 2 out of the first 3 are over an hour. So, all right. Well,
Yeah.
Ryan, appreciate you staying up late to do this with me. I know it's
Always wouldn't be anywhere else.
Appreciate that. Hopefully, both streams worked out for everybody. Connect to both of us on YouTube and Instagram. You can find us both. You can find me at Headless Nets Dark. Instagram is throw some underscores in between each one, and then Ryan Milky.
Yeah, you can find me at Ryan Milky 14 on Instagram and on YouTube and on TikTok and wherever else you get your daily fix of internet needs.
That's right. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of it.
But yeah, guys, don't forget, keep those heads on.
And always, you want to stay milky. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow. Tackle the clone breakdown, and we'll probably chat a little bit more about this episode. So, but we appreciate you guys. I know we've been on twice tonight, so you probably are sick of looking at our faces. So we're going to jump out of here. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.